who you are, having the power to do what you want to do what sets your soul on fire. And if you look at it, different sets of people need freedom in different ways to be able to succeed. Women need empowerment because the society has always suppressed us, pushed us down, and fixed us into the role of being a homemaker. But we were born to do so much more, like Indira Nui to become an entrepreneur, or like Anne Frank to write beautiful books that throw learnings and lessons for everyone to remember and cherish. Men need society to realize that sometimes the little beads that fall off their eyes, tears, is okay. They go through a lot of pressure to succeed, to do unimaginable things. Of course, a diamond undergoes a lot of pressure to become what it is. But it's okay to cry once in a while, to be down once in a while. You don't have to be that strong person all the time just because you are a man. And the most important kind of freedom, the freedom of the mind, is what we all need to be able to embrace the most sensitive, the most stereotyped community in our society, the LGBTQI plus community. They are the most sensitive people that we overlook, we stereotype, we ignore. But they need the freedom of our minds to be able to grow, to be able to show us what they really can do, to bloom like a sunflower. Ever since I have become the president of Mekong Communication Club, I have tried that every member of this club is able to come out here, take up roles, and show their talent in different ways that have been possible. And one such person who's come up here today to display her talent, to push her boundaries, and to come out of her comfort zone is our MC for the day. She's an engineering graduate in ENC and is currently working in Z Omega Infotech company as a tech compliance manager. Her hobbies include yoga, cooking, and trekking. With a thunderous round of applause, please help me welcome the MC for the day, Toastmaster Indrani.
Am I audible and visible? Thank you, Ankita, for that wonderful introduction. Okay. Each individual is blessed with knowledge and high potential. Do you all agree with me? Yes. Our parents, teachers, mentors, friends, etc. give us freedom to do what we wish. They do identify our strengths and opportunities for improvements and support us to succeed in life. Hello, good evening and welcome fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Any of us get restriction from our parents, or we restrict our children telling them, do this, don't go there, don't do this, etc. Here we are not aware of the purpose of sometimes, but still we start restricting and we receive restriction. So we take a child to a park with cleanly dressed up with a comfort clothes. And the child will have an happiness and joy that she will be playing in the park. But the mother, along with her, restricts her not to play in sand so that it gets dirt or gets hurted. In the same park building, a small house staying there, and a group of children where the parents are not at home. They go around the park, jumping, playing, climbing trees, so that the children are growing physically and mentally strong when we compare the children with restriction and with the freedom that is given. I could like to share a small story here. There was one family, a joint family of people of 10 people. One child named Ritu. A mother was a housewife and a father was running a small business. This family was taking care of the entire joint family, who was heading it. Mother was affectionated with the only child, teaching her do's and not to do things. And a main focus of the mother towards Ritu was only to get well educated and settle in her life. As a girl, she has to stand on her own leg to lead a life. That was a mother thought being in a joint family. But since a mother, Ritu's mother, who was in an independent house with a small family, grown up well, she was not able to adjust with a joint family. That was a challenge. So Ritu was a topper in the class from the lower grade till 10th class, and she did well in her schoolings. But due to her father was in a business, due to some small impacts for the in the business, the survival was little hard in the family to maintain. So continuing the education for Ritu was very challenging to the family, to Ritu's parents. So, however, Ritu's father's close friend, who supported looked at Ritu's potential and knowledge and supported her to continue her education. When the child reached a final year diploma, her mother was mentally stressed out in the joint family and she lost her life due to the health issues. Now the child Ritu was completely depressed. Though they stay in the joint family, not a healthy relationship with family members. Ritu and her father thought they should live separately from the family members. She had freedom to rethink, to take a better approach. She got freedom to replace all the not to do things what a mother has taught, to take it actionable and executable that lead to a caring and loving in the family. She challenged herself that she can complete her education with the support of her father's earning. She successfully completed her engineering and joined the IT company. And today, she takes care of the complete family of managing 10 people with a group of youngsters and elders in the family. So one gentleman, Ralph C. Medley, thought, why don't we give opportunity to the individual to showcase their talents and potentials without any fear and set a stage of freedom to communicate and improve in order to succeed their goals in their life? He started Toastmaster International. The first meeting was held at YMCA building on October 22nd, 1924 in St. Anne, California. So people can be motivated to speak with freedom, build communication and leadership skill. Today, we have around 16,800 clubs spread across 143 countries and with a membership of about 364,000. Now, coming to a typical Toastmaster meeting consists of 3 sessions. The first session is a prepared speech session, which the speaker gets time to prepare the speech based on the subject of their own choice, as per Toastmaster guidelines of the manual. The second session is a table topic session, one of the most exciting sessions of the Toastmasters meeting, where speaker has to choose the random topic, where the speaker has to choose the random given by the table topic master. Speaker is given a topic to speak for 2 minutes. This challenges member to develop their improper communication skills to effectively thinking on their feet. That followed by an evaluation session where proceeding of the meeting is evaluated. We have today 4 role takers for smooth functioning of today's meeting. I could request the respective role takers to explain their roles as I call out their names. To start with the first role taker, he is a debutant. Let us give him a huge round of applause for taking up this role. Toastmaster Mukesh.
Thank you so much. So, I'm Mukesh, and I'll be taking the role of a timer. So the role of the timer is topic table speakers should limit their time to not more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card, At 1.5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. And for the prepared speeches, the length will be between 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. And for the individual evaluations, the time will be within 2 minutes and between 2 and 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. Between 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mukesh. So
Thank you.
moving to our next role taker, grammarian, Toastmaster Shiv.
Am I clearly visible and audible?
Toastmaster Shiva.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As the grammarian for today, I will be making note of the good usages of English and the not so good usages made by all the speakers during the course of the meeting. And also we have a word of the day, which is horrendous, and it means extremely unpleasant, horrifying, or terrible. The usage in the English language would be, she suffered horrendous injuries. I urge all the members to use the word of the day while they speak. For the offline audience, it's right here on the board. For the online audience, we'll get it in the chat box right now. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva. Followed by our next role, our counter. He is also a dividend. Let us give him a huge round of applause. Toastmaster Srikanth. Sorry.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sikandar, and today I am playing a counter role. The purpose of the counter is to note any overused word or filler sound, such as touched by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate interjections, such as and, well, but, so, and you know. So I will be taking care of counting this, and at the end, I will give my details. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srikanda. Moving to our PP evaluator, Toastmaster Rashmi. Yes, you are visible.
Good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters. Today, myself, Rashmi, I've taken up a PP role today. It is very important to follow certain rules for any smooth functioning of a meeting. So, Toastmaster meeting is no different. Following the rule number 1, kindly avoid talking about the sex, politics, and religion. Keep your video on, or keep your audio muted. If it is not possible to keep your audio on, kindly mention as available in place of your name in the Zoom screen. Keep your mobile phones in silent mode. In case if you happen to leave the meeting, kindly drop in a Zoom chat box. Thank you. Back to you, Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi. So let us start with our first session, prepared speeches. Our first speaker, Toastmaster Vaishnavi. I request the individual evaluator, DTM Udanka, to read the project guidelines. Yes.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. My target speaker is attempting level 2 project 2 lead, understand your communication skill. The purpose of the statement is for the member to learn about the different communication style and identify his or her primary style. The purpose of this project is for the member to share the impact of his or her style on others. Note for the evaluator, that's me. During the completion of this project, the member responded to a questionnaire to help identify his or her communication style. About the speech, the member will deliver a well-organized speech about some aspects of communication styles. The member may choose to speak about his or her own communication style or the impact of communication styles on him or her. The speech may be humorous, information, or any style the member chooses. The speech should not be a report on the content of the project, understanding your communication style. All the best to the speaker, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Udanka. Our speaker, Toastmaster Vaishnavi, is pursuing law. Currently in first year, her hobbies includes dancing, running, trucking, and hiking. She wants to challenge herself to explore new things and overcome fear of public speaking. Toastmaster Vaishnavi is taking up Level 2, Project 2. Title of the speech, Stories Live for Eternity.
Thank you, MC, for that wonderful introduction. I'm writing this story so that others around me can see fragments of themselves. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. This quote I just mentioned is by Lana Waiter. I believe, just like the above quote said, stories which we listen and tell are the way I believe is how we breathe and live. Stories are not just words or someone's life description. They are a bunch of emotions wrapped together. Just like my speech title, the world may come to end, but stories, they live for eternity. Be it the famous Jhansi Rani Ki Kahani or the greatest battle stories where we are taught valuable lessons by Alexander the Great. All these stories have one thing in common. Can anyone tell me what is this common essential ingredient of a story? Can anyone among the audience tell me what is this? Okay.
They have all the purpose.
Okay, the essential ingredient of any story is taking back value. Any story which has some value to take back brings an impact on our lives, which gives the greatest lessons. I'm a very weird person. I know most of them in the offline audience are already nodding their head. No, I'm not talking about my weird expressions when I make a silly mistake. I am talking about how I can manage to give a speech in front of a larger audience, maybe being a bit nervous, but exhaust my energy when it comes to having one-to-one conversations. This definitely takes all of my energy. And that's why networking breaks may be the toughest thing than any other roles for me. This project has helped me to learn about different types of communication style and find out my very own. During the research, I realized currently at this stage of my life, I use a communication style called initiating communication style. Now, what is meant by initiating communication style? It means trying to interact with others and sharing stories. allow them for socializing at the beginning of the meetings, and help them have a non-threatening and friendly environment to share their thoughts and opinions. Communication, this type of communication style, being a newbie, maybe not a newbie, okay, for knowing at least a lot of people in my college, this is the best way to rant about my university and professors. Communication does not only mean through words, it also includes expressions and hand gestures. I first learned this skill in my dance class, but later on became a pro in exam halls. Well, that's a different story. But uh, this type of communication skill has allowed me to learn a lot of life lessons and personal experiences of others, where I got to listen to various different type of stories and became curious of others' lives. And one thing I would like to tell that this communication style has definitely brought value to my life. And maybe when when it is adopted by others, it will definitely become a valuable communication skill set and become and bring value to their life as well. I would like to end by stating telling stories is difficult, especially the hard ones. But this makes difficult times more bearable and gives hope to success. Thank you, and back to MC.
Ma'am, you muted yourself. Could you please unmute yourself?
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Vaishnavi. That was a wonderful insight on your communication stories and improvements. Let us give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Vaishnavi. So moving to our next speaker, Toastmaster Spurti, I request the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Sahi Snail, to read out the guidelines.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Today I'll be evaluating a level 2 project 3 speech. The purpose statement of this project is for this member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. Notes for the evaluator. The member completing this project is developing an understanding of Toastmasters mentoring. This speech is about a time when a member was a protege. It may be from any time in his or her life. The member may discuss any aspect of the protege experience. The speech should not be a report on the content of the Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring Project. Thank you, and back to the Master Sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahi Snail. Our speaker, Toastmaster Spurti, is pursuing a law in Bangalore Institute of Legal Studies, Bangalore Institute of Legal Studies, currently in 3rd year. She is a professional Kathak dancer and pursuing a dance passion in Abhinava Dance Company. Her hobbies includes traveling and extremely fascinated about trekking and hiking. And she is a swimmer, volleyball, and throwball player. And she is our current VPE. Toastmaster Spurti is taking up level 2 project 3 Title of the project, A Legacy. Fellow Toastmasters, please join with me to give with a huge round of applause to welcome Toastmaster Spurti on screen.
Thank you, Toastmaster Indrani, for such a lovely introduction. A famous author, Bob Proctor, once said, and I quote, "A mentor is a person who identifies your skills and abilities better than yourself and brings it out." Good evening, fellow Toastmasters / mentors and my dear guests. Until 5 years ago, I always thought mentors come in the form of teachers or professors because my teachers always told me, "Spurti, if you have any problem, please come to me." My maths teacher especially used to say, "I can solve this, I can teach you this even 100 times," but I've realized only after 3 or 4 times they would also lose patience. Mentors in my life have always come by default more than by choice. And I would like to tell you how all that happened. Now, when I joined my law college, BILS, and when people used to ask me, "Which college do you go to?" And I used to say, "Bills." People would ask me, "Where is that? Where does it come? Chanagidia College? Do they teach well?" So many people's reaction like this really demotivated me and brought my spirits down. It was only until I met a handful of people in the last 5 years, inside and outside of college, who made me the 2022 version of Spurti Ravu, who's standing in front of you today. I call them the 3 A's of my life: Arjun, Atul, and Amog. In 2017, after my Freshers' Day, I remember sitting in my class waiting for my friends to come back from the washroom. Then I see this boy with a petite personality walk towards me and say, "Hey Supruti, my name is Arjun. I loved your performance. Could we please collaborate and do a jugalbandi? I can play the tabla and I can sing, so we could make a YouTube video." Without even correcting the pronunciation of my name to Spurti, I agreed and said, "Yes, let's do it." In a few days, we started practice. I can say this was the booster shot of my confidence. Over time with Arjun, I realized that being on time, being punctual, be it a friend or an acquaintance, is so important. Respecting their space and time is extremely important. The second thing I learned was not only my dancing skills, he also brought out a little bit of my theater skills that I never knew I had. I later participated in a lot of plays in college. I realized I have many more opportunities even outside of dance class. During my practice time with Arjun, he introduced me to his friends group. They were a concentration of people with so much skills and abilities that I wanted to have in my life. One such person was Atul, the second A of my life. He was a person who played sports, who studied really well, who was into debating, mooting, negotiating, and whatnot. His personality impressed me a lot, and I one day looked up to sort of being like him. He was the one who told me, "Spurti, you shouldn't be like me. Learn whatever you want and be the best version of yourself." So throughout my 5 years, I accompanied him with all the moods. I was like a leech. So I was with him when he went mooting or when he went on sports competitions or negotiating and especially debating. I can say that I improved by a very large scale just by observing him. In fact, even in the last 2 3 months, he sat with me for 3 long days just to enhance my CV, because of which I got great internships and opportunities. I always wondered, how can people unconditionally help you? Because after a point, I felt uncomfortable to ask them for help. And out of curiosity, I asked Atul one day, "Don't you feel bored when you help me? Don't you feel like, oh my God, why is she eating my head?" This one thing that he told me is always stays in my head. "Spurti, I'm mentoring you the way I've always wanted to be mentored. I'm teaching you the way always I wanted to be taught. And that, my fellow Toastmasters, has always been in my head. He was the one, in fact, who pushed me to join this amazing platform called Toastmasters. He knew about Mekon way beforehand, and for 8 long months, he pushed me constantly and said, I think it's time for you to go. I think it's time for you to go. 2020 was the year I started my journey here in Toastmasters, and my first mentor was Toastmaster Amok. Toastmaster Amok not only helped me structure my speech, amend my speeches, or give me corrections. He told me what it takes to make a good speech or construct a good speech. That is, he put me into the habit of reading books, to listening to podcasts, to watching good shows on Netflix and Amazon, and all of that. Not only that, him being in the financial market, he helped me invest in the right way and taught me the importance of savings. He really helped me go back into fitness and meditation too. I feel all this helped me in my holistic development. Needless to say, the other person who I really look up to here is DTM AK Prabhakara. Every role that I've taken here in Toastmasters, be it an officer role or in my speeches, he's always taken that one step to call me and say, listen, this is where you went wrong. This is the feedback I would want to give you. He, in fact, pushes me to give more speeches, and here I am today giving another speech. I consider them as the two pillars of strength in our club, Toastmaster DTM Udanka and Sai Snehal. Both of them have never said no to anything that I've asked for. When I was a fresher here, I remember how many questions I've gone behind them with, and needless to say, they have never made a face or said no to anything. I would like to thank each and every one of you. Initially, when I said, good evening, fellow mentors, all of you sitting here are my mentors. There's something that I learned from everybody here, and I'm so grateful to that. So tomorrow, when I am a mentor to somebody, I'm going to mentor them like how my mentors mentored me, which is why I call it a legacy. To sum it up, fellow Toastmasters, I would like to end it with a quote. They always say, when the student is ready, the master just appears. Thank you, and back to the MC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Spurti. We were completely immersed in your speech and shared your insights of the list of mentors that you have gone through your life. So let us give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Spurti. So moving on to our next session, table topic. He is a graduate and electrical engineering, currently working for Lam Research Company as a design engineer. His hobbies includes cooking and traveling. Fellow Toastmasters, please join me with a huge round of applause to welcome Toastmaster Shashikanta Abhigiri on screen. Shashikant.
Toastmaster of the day for a wonderful introduction. Good evening, Toastmaster and guests. The purpose of table topic master is to facilitate the table topic for Toastmasters and guests so that they can improve their impromptu speaking skills by talking for the on the topic for 2 minutes. So I encourage every speaker to use the word of the day, that is foreigner. Yeah. And moving on to our first topic. The first topic is how to have the financial freedom. So this topic goes to Toastmaster Pawan.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. This is the subject even I am looking for the answer. Yeah. This is a horrendous feeling for me whenever I think about my finances and the situation, how to come out of it, whatever. Finding a solution. Actually, yeah, just while looking for, finances is also our mind game only, I think so. Just we can see through finances, but it's more of our mind management. Hmm. Definitely, I will learn and I can explain but we really need the financial freedom. Otherwise, we cannot actually enjoy anything else in our life. Just the freedom. I'm not saying finance, huge finances or anything. Just thinking, getting or spending for the family or for our own personal improvement. Financial freedom pays lots of ways for our self improvement. So I just found this way here. Soon I'll find the other ways. I cannot actually suggest much about the financial freedom right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So small tips on financial freedom is start having a track on what you spend. That is a small tip, and everyone can do that. And moving on next, how you use your laptop unconventionally. I repeat once again, how you use your laptop unconventionally. I request Toastmaster Rashmi to take on this topic.
You, favorite topic, Master Shashikant, for this wonderful topic. The topic is how do you use your laptop unconventionally? The conventional way of using the laptop is we have to start properly and shut down it properly, and you have to update the antiviruses, all those things. But in my home, so once it is switched on in the morning, my daughter and elder daughter will take the class for 4 hours. Then after my younger daughter's turn, she will use for continuously 2 to 3 hours, and sometimes the YouTube videos will be going on without a pause, and nobody will be taking. Yeah, my mother-in-law will take care, but she cannot control my younger daughter. She's very very naughty and very very messy things. She'll do all. If you cannot take away the laptop, she'll make all the people in the house. What she make everyone to sit with her. So that is what I am not able to use my laptop conventionally. Okay. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi. And moving on, the next topic is the useless fact you know. I repeat, the useless fact you know. I request Toastmaster Vijay Upendra to take on this topic.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome, guests. It's a useless fact. Everyone knows that rules have to be followed, no matter it is a traffic or financial prudence. In both the areas, we are likely to break the rule first. Instead of going at a normal speed, we always go in a higher speed, making a mess of ourselves as well as others on the road. When it comes to question of financial prudence, we hardly give importance to financial freedom or taking care of our own investments in a right way. We buy insurance thinking that it is an investment. That itself is not a right fact. And investing in share market thinking that I will become a crorepati very next day, that itself is ridiculous. So the fact, once we understand in the right way, we have to apply in the right method so that we reach the destination in a right way. What I mean by that, say a person who is going to share market thinks that within a day or two he is going to become a crorepati. It is not so. There are so many scams happening in the marketplace. How many of us have got the idea or inkling about that? So it is better to understand the nitty-gritties properly and take care of our own finances. In the same way, understand the proper traffic rules, apply and save yourselves and others too. Thank you and back to you.
Thank you, Vijay. The useless fact I know is we handle the children, but the truth is children will handle us. The next topic is the advantages and disadvantages of advertisement. The advantages and disadvantages of advertisement. I request Toastmaster Mukesh to take on this topic.
Hello, thank you so much. Can you hear me first of all? Okay. The advantages of advertisement is, first of all, it gives you information about the product and the services. Second is that it gives you the prices for the product as well as the services also. The disadvantages of advertising, that the most disadvantageous thing about advertising is that it can mislead. Example, I would go with this Fair and Lovely cream. On advertisement, it shows that the cream makes the person fair, but in reality, it does not. The skin still stays the same no matter what. So I think that's the only disadvantage about advertising. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. Sorry, Toastmaster Mukesh. Sorry, I was wrong. So the next topic is, when has honesty not been the best policy for you? I repeat, when has the honesty not been the best policy for you? This topic goes to Toastmaster Gaurav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shikant. When you called me before, I realized that I will be getting the next topic. Very good evening to all Toastmasters and all the guests present today. There was one incident that had happened when I was young. So, me and my friends were playing cricket, and by mistake, as we were playing, I hit the ball, it broke the glass. So the person's house which was glass was broken. The person came out when she started shouting, "Who broke the glass?" And we all ran away. So one friend, he got caught, and she didn't leave him until he accepted that he broke the glass, and he did. And later on, she's like, "Thank you for accepting it," and she gave a chocolate. So I was very smart, thinking, I mean, I'll go and say that I was the one who actually broke. I might get few more treats. And when I went, instead that didn't happen. She's like, "How dare you run away and you made someone else get caught on behalf of you?" And that is when she called my parents, and they have to talk, they have to pay for the glass which I broke. So that is one incident that has never helped me when I was being honest, but I should have been earlier. So thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. The next topic is, if necessity is mother of invention, who is the father? I repeat, if necessity is mother of invention, then who is the father? I request Toastmaster Raghunandana to take on this topic. Then we'll call guest Hindustan.
If necessity is the mother of invention, then I believe desperation is the father. Because as much as you want some really good inventions to happen,
everywhere. No one did not know they wanted WhatsApp till it came into existence. So therefore, necessity was for you to transfer files. You desperately need WhatsApp these days. So desperation is the father of invention. So what I'm trying to say is, whatever is like a very good hack, and therefore I
Thank you, guest industry, for take on the topic. And moving on next, the next topic is what get you excited about life. I repeat, what gets you excited about life. I request guest Shubham to take on this topic. Aryan, sorry, guest Aryan. Okay.
So the topic is like, what makes you get excited for life? For me, what makes me get excited for life is the fact that tomorrow is here. The fact that tomorrow I can experience a new thing, or the fact that tomorrow I can expect something which has never happened yesterday or which is never happening today. The fact that tomorrow I can do something which I have not done today nor yesterday, but I can actually go and do it tomorrow. So this is why I favor to the fact that tomorrow is what I really excite for. Tomorrow is where I can really grow on, and tomorrow is where I can really improve myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Aryan. And moving on next, which is the most essential kind of freedom that everyone should have? I repeat, which is the most essential kind of freedom that everyone should have? I request Toastmaster Shiva to take on this topic.
To the master for that topic, and very good evening once again to my fellow Toastmaster guests. We all know that we have a certain kind of freedom that is provided to us by the Constitution, right to live, right for equality, right to freedom of expression. But one freedom that I want everyone to have is a freedom to actually be able to say what you want. For example, you can't actually call a person fat if they are fat. You can't call a person. I've been ridiculed all my life for being thin, right? And I've been beaten up for it. I've been told, I've been bullied. And if you call somebody fat, it turns into an insult for some reason. Only fat. You are fat. Accept that fact and work out and lose weight. Thank you, and back to your table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva. So moving on, the next topic is what kind of freedom you like the most and why? I repeat, what kind of freedom you like the most and why? I request Toastmaster Sikandar to take on this topic.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master, for the topic. And good evening, everyone, once again to all my fellow Toastmasters and guests. So the freedom I like is to do anything of myself. Okay. I will tell you one story. When I was in class 12, so my juniors who were in class 11, they had put a broken chair for my teacher who was a retired Air Force pilot. He came, he sat, and he fell down. He then stood and he told, it is very easy for me to pick the person who made this or who all were responsible for it. But I won't do this. And you will remember for not doing this throughout your life. Because if I will do anything wrong to you, if I will stop you for doing this, there are 3-4 more activity it will be stopped for you, and you will not grow in that area. One more example is if your kid, any one of the small kid, if they are playing with ball, catch with they are just catching, hitting the ball. Okay. If you will stop them, they may never learn to catch the ball very well. Okay. So that is kind of freedom I want, like we should get whatever we want to do, we should do. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sikandar. The next topic is describe yourself in terms of food. I repeat, describe yourself in terms of food. I request DTM Udanka to take on this topic.
Thank you, table topic master, for this. When you talk about food, I realize that's 100% me, and the smile you gave looking at me, I was super confident that it is me. So we are coming to food. As you all know, I'm a foodie here and I'm a food blogger. So you asked me to taste each and every bit of food, each and every style of food I would have tasted by now. You name the food, I would say your best place for that in at least South Bangalore for sure. You asked me where is Chola Bhatura, I'll give you 3 options. Where is good Chinese cuisine, I'll give you 4-5 options. You asked me where you get South Indian platters, I'll give you 2-3 options. So food is like how, I know food is important for everyone. Food is the main aspect of a human being. But I have gone a step up, tasted all kind of food, making myself so fat you can see me, I'm so, but I am healthy. I exercise, I work out to control my diet. Though, and this fat is thanks to lockdown. I had my mom cooking delicious foods for me. I had myself experimenting new taste of new varieties of food, cooking to myself. So, and I could not go out for exercise. So this is all because of that. Apart from those, I'm really good in aspect of health. And yeah, any suggestions, any kind of taste you want to try, I am right here outside those classes. Over to you.
Thank you, DTM Udanka, for a wonderful take on that topic. The next topic is, what is the best prank you played on someone? I repeat, what is the best prank you played on someone? I request guest Sophia Faiz to take on this topic. Okay, I request Sai Nehal to take on this topic.
Thank you, table topic master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Best prank you've ever played. When I was in college, rather this was a prank played on me. We used to park our vehicles in the basement. My college was Jain College, Jayanagar 9th block, and we used to park our vehicles in the basement. At every day, 12:30, I used to go take the scooter and go home. One fine day, I didn't find my scooter in the designated spot where I usually park. I looked around it for a lot of time. I even called the security, I called the manager, I even looked up the CCTV footage, only to find my 2 good friends lifting the scooter and putting in the other side of the parking without having the key. This took me 3 hours to find out, and then when I found out, I realized I was played very bad. This was because I did the same thing back to them in PUC, and they just tried to do the same thing. This was the prank I played, and I also got played. Thank you, and back.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai. Yeah, with this, we end the session 2, that is table topic session, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day. That is Toastmaster Indra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shri Abhigari. It was an amazing topics as per the theme, and all of us enjoyed the session. Thank you once again. Let us give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Shashikant. Now it's time for us to move to our next session. Okay, let's take a break for a few minutes and let us all gather. After 10 minutes, now it is 7:42, like 7:52. Hello, is everyone back?
Ma'am, we are back, but just give us a minute. We'll resume the meeting.
Okay, sure.
Ma'am, we can start the meeting.
We can get started, right? Thank you. So welcome back to our next session, general evaluation. So evaluation session give us the feedback that need to advance our skills. She is a gynecologist doctor, has done her medical education from Bangalore Medical College, consultant gynecologist with 26 years of experience in the same field. She believes happy mothers and healthy babies is a goal in life. Her hobbies includes reading, driving, yoga and music. Please let us welcome Toastmaster Dr. Arundhati on screen with a huge round of applause.
Good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm excited and elated to be the general evaluator for today's super meeting. The business session started at 6:36 p.m. During online meetings, I always used to think it is one-on-one responsibility to start at 6:15 p.m. sharp. However, during hybrid meeting, the situation is different. The technical glitches, challenges we come across is very difficult to resolve at times. Despite that, we could start at 6:36. I think the club members need a round of applause for enabling us to start at 6:36. During the business session, roles for the upcoming meeting were discussed, renewal of membership, and the proud moment where Toastmaster Balaji and Supreet are going to represent our club in divisional level was discussed, and also importance of feedback was highlighted. I would urge all the members to renew the membership as early as possible and also to give feedback to all programs. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Shiva took over. He kick-started the meeting with elegance and enthusiasm. He shared his experience where when he was given freedom to choose the topic when he became MC, and the meeting was highly successful, and the credit he gives to the freedom which he was given. He gives another example of extreme, after other extreme, where the situation in North Korea, where there is no freedom and the people cannot grow because of this. What he tried to impress upon was freedom is the basic thing which can bring out the potential in each and every one of us. I could very well make out that he has totally come out of his nervous jitters and he's going to be an asset to Mekon. Ladies and gentlemen, let us appreciate Toastmaster Shiva for his splendid performance as Sergeant at Arms. Toastmaster Shiva introduced our president, Toastmaster Ankita. She took over and allowed the guests to introduce themselves. Minutes of meeting was read out by Toastmaster Sai Snehal Reddy. Then the presidential speech by Toastmaster Ankita. I feel it's a combination of beauty and intelligence, a marvelous way of expressing worthy ideas. I always look up to her speeches because of this fact. Today, when she spoke about women empowerment, it was emotionally appealing. Women who are deprived of freedom undergo horrendous experience, and that is almost taken for granted by men. That struck a chord within me, and it was highly impressive. The whole speech added value to the meeting. She had lot of good usages. However, I don't want to mention them because I don't want to steal opportunity of our grammarian. I emphatically conclude that she is going to take Macon to the next level as our beloved president. Let us give a thunderous round of applause to our president, Toastmaster Ankit. Before going into evaluation, I would like to give 30 seconds time to the members to vote for the best speaker and table topic speaker, because I don't want them to be influenced by the evaluations. Ballot links are available, right? So moving on to evaluations, I would like to invite DTM Udanka to evaluate first speaker, Toastmaster Vaishnavi. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome DTM Udanka.
Good evening once again, and in target to my target speaker, Toastmaster Vaishnavi. So I'll be evaluating your speech in three parts: the things where you excel at, the things where you can improve on, and the things where you can challenge yourself. So starting off with the good things, you are very new to this journey of Toastmasters, and being at your fifth speech, you gave it by standing, and that was really appreciable. And you had a proper hand gestures, no matter what you were telling. Every word had a hand gesture what it needed, and the eye contact was into the screen. Since you were in an online platform and you were constantly looking at the camera, that was really good. Second thing where it went good is when you started off with your speech and you asked the audience, through which you gained their interest. So everyone like, what is she asking? Why? So you got that attention of the audience. In Toastmasters, we have a saying that when we start off with a quote or a story, it is the one good start, or it attracts the audience, and you did exactly the same way and struck the audience interest. So these were the things where you went well. Now coming to the parts where you can improve yourself is, while you were delivering your speech, I saw that you were going back, coming, jumping like this, coming front, jumping like this. So this moment clearly indicated that you were slightly nervous, acceptable. Since these are your starting speeches, you will be quite nervous. That's completely acceptable. And to overcome it, just don't jump around. You can hold your hands stiff. You can hold it right here, or you can just have a to and fro moment, but not jumping, so that it will not showcase that you're nervous. So, and coming to the main part, since you were giving an online speech, before the meeting, if you could check your audio and video, that would be really great. Because in your speech, we had a slight issue with your hearing. It was too feeble, though we had our speakers, everything in max volume. We had slightly, your voice was too low, but if you could improve on that, if you could have an audio video check before the speech, if you're online, it would be really great. Coming to the challenging for your upcoming speech, You had a proper opening, you had a proper body of the speech. Coming to the closing part, you told the audience that to end my speech, I will be saying. So that thing, you don't need to intimate the audience that you are ending the speech. You don't need to say that you are ending the speech. What you could do instead of that, then, to conclude, or you could say, say something similar to that. Last but not the least, if you could tell words like this, it would really help your speech come out very well. Apart from this, you have met all the guidelines of project. You have completed your project 2 of level 2. Congratulations on that, and back to general evaluator.
Thank you very much, DTM Udanka, for this evaluation. As he rightly said, because of technical glitches, our comprehension was not up to the mark. I have a suggestion here. All those people who take major role, like speakers, master of ceremony, it's better to attend offline. Because the very purpose of joining Toastmaster is to overcome this fear of communication, fear of facing audience. When we have the opportunity, I feel that is better. And if the speakers had attended this offline program, this problem wouldn't have been there. But still, DTM Udanka evaluated the speech. I don't have much suggestions. If the speaker can incorporate the suggestions in her upcoming speeches, definitely there will be progress, and the purpose will be definitely served. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a round of applause for the speaker and the evaluator. Moving on to the second speech, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sai Snehal Reddy to evaluate Toastmaster Spurti. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Sai Snehal Reddy.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Dr. Arundhati. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and Toastmasters Spurti in particular. A mentor is someone who brings out the skill set you have that you don't know that you have it. What an opening to a speech, and particularly the speech of Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. Your speech on Toastmaster Mentoring not only just showed us what mentoring is, but the way it can be passed on to a legacy. Now I will further divide the evaluation into 3 parts. 3 parts in the way, by 1, the way you excelled at, where you may want to work upon, and to challenge yourself. In the first section, that is where you excelled at, you had 3 A's, that is Arjun, Atul, and Amod, but rather I would put it this way. These 3 members, or rather mentors, gave you something to work upon, to have an aim, to have an ambition, and to achieve what you want to do by their guidance. This is something they've instilled in you and made sure you have done it. The other thing I like the most is how each one mentor was linked to another mentor. Whereas first Arjun, he brought you into a platform, then Atul, who got you to another platform, and finally Atul got you to Toastmasters where you met Amod. All these 3 were linked in one way or the other, and somehow it made a complete speech wholesome. And now where you may want to work upon is your speech or voice modulation. You had the perfect speed and the perfect choice of words, and also you were very clear. But one thing, you were going continuously. There was no pauses in between. It was like a non-stop railway train. You had to give some pauses here and there so that we can grasp what you're trying to say and understand, or else the speeches will go without a value. You did mention about 3 mentors, but you didn't say anything about them. Maybe a little bit insight about these mentors will help us to understand how you gain benefit from these mentors and help you achieve what you are today. To challenge yourself, I would suggest you to take up mentees and pass on your legacy the way you have been given the same. This will not only just take you to greater heights, but also your mentees. Apart from that, you did a wonderful speech, and it's nice to see you behind the lectern giving speeches after a really long time. And congratulations on completing your level 2. Looking forward for more speeches. Thank you, and back to the General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai Snehal Reddy, for this perfect evaluation. I think I am on the same page with you. The evaluation was positive and encouraging. Toastmaster Spurti was very confident and clear in her speech. The suggestions given by the evaluator regarding voice modulation, purposeful pauses, definitely make a lot of difference and add value to the speeches. If the speaker can incorporate these suggestions, definitely the speech will be taken to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a special round of applause to the speaker and the evaluator. Moving on, I would like to have the report by Tab G team. Timer Toastmaster Mukesh. Can you please read out your report?
Right. So I'll start with the prepared speech. Vaishnavi took around 5 minutes and 50 seconds to finish her speeches, which was within the time limit. And Spurti took, sorry. Hello.
Udanka, there is an echo.
Okay. Yeah. And Spurti took around 7.5 minutes, which exceeded the time limit, but which exceeded a time limit. So next time, please keep in that mind. Now for the evaluation, Udankan sir took 2 minutes to 53 seconds, which was within the time limit, but he was on the he was on the edge of the time. So next time, please take care of that. And Mr. Sai Snail took around 2 minutes and 30 seconds to evaluate.
Table topics. Toastmaster Mukesh. Toastmaster Mukesh. Yeah.
No. Yes. Yeah, actually, I couldn't hear that. So I was asking, I was shouting also, hello, hello. Could you hear me? Okay, I'll just do it again. Sorry, I'm just sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll do that. 1 minute. Can everyone hear me? Sorry, there was a lag in my end, so please excuse me. So for the table topic, do I have to give it individually? Do I have to give an individual timing for everyone?
Yes, Mukesh.
Okay. So Rashmi took about 1 minute 9 seconds. Vijay took 1 minute 51 seconds. I took around 2 minutes, which was almost exceeding the time. Gaurav sir took 1 minute 15 seconds. The Shiva took 1 minute. Sikandar took 1 minute 30 seconds. Udankar sir took 1 minute 30 seconds. Sai Snail sir took 1 minute. And the guest number 1 took 55 seconds. Guest number two took 48 seconds. That's it. I'm sorry if I've done something wrong. I'm really sorry. It's my first time, so
Thank you
so
very much.
please do
Toastmaster
excuse
Mukesh,
me.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mukesh, for your sincere effort. I would like to call upon our counter, Toastmaster Sikandar, to read out his report.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Dr. Arundhati. Good evening again, everyone, Toastmasters. So the details are Toastmaster Shiva took 1 hour, Acting President Toastmaster Ankita was flawless. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Indrani was 2 and 2 pauses. And Toastmaster Shiva and Toastmaster Rasmi were flawless. Toastmaster Vaishnavi 1 3 pauses. Toastmaster Udanka, evaluator speech 1, he was flawless. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Spurti 1 evaluator speech 2, Toastmaster Sai Snehal was flawless. Table topic master Sasikant was flawless. Table topic speaker 1, Pavani used 1 show and 2 pauses. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Rasmi, flawless. Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, Gaurav, Toastmaster Shiva, Toastmaster guest speaker Aryan, guest speaker Dhanusri, all were flawless. And till now, general evaluator Dr. Arundhati 1 Thank you.
Toastmaster Iskandar, this was your debutant role, right? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, let us appreciate the efforts of Toastmaster Sikandar as a debutant who has taken a role for the first time as accountant. Call upon PP evaluator Toastmaster Rashmi for her report.
Good evening, everybody, once again. Here is my detailed report. The meeting was in place. There was no talk about sex, politics, or religion. For online audience, I noticed that there were many audio issues that could be avoided. They could have checked their network properly before attending the meeting. And I noticed some speakers did not turn their video on when they were talking about like the table topics when they are attempting the table topic session. That could be avoided. They can turn their video on. Apart from that, meeting went on very smoothly. There were no any issues. Thank you. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rashmi, for the good observation and report. I would like to call upon grammarian Toastmaster Shiva for his report.
Thank you, General Evaluator, and once again, a very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and guests. Starting off with the good usages today by our President, perplexed, fallacious. Then Speaker 1, Vaishnavi, used the word newbie. Spurti used out of curiosity. She used holistic development. After my school diary, I'm reading it here only. Toastmaster Vijay Upendra used the word crorepati. I want that word to be included in the English dictionary, like masala and all the certain Indian words that are included. Nitty-gritties, and coming to general evaluator, excited and elated, elegance and enthusiasm, marvelous, struck a chord emphatically, too feeble and wholesome. Coming to the not so good usages, Speaker 1 Vaishnavi said, I improved by a large scale. You can't say large scale, you could say I improved a lot, that is enough. Challenging for your upcoming speeches, the challenges for your upcoming speeches. The way you excelled at could have been where you excelled at. And there was no pauses, you can say there were no pauses. That's it, and back to you, generally. Once again. Coming to the word of the day, horrendous. It was used by our table topic master Shashikant, first speaker Pavani, and the general evaluator Arundhati once. That's it, and back to general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva. Let us give a special round of applause for all the role takers. Moving on, about the table topic master, Toastmaster Shashikant. The topics he brought to the table were of different variety. Some were funny, some were useful, somewhere I felt difficult to answer, but our participants were very intelligent and they spoke well. All the topics were well tried, I can say. And one more thing, he mentioned the topic first, gave 2-3 seconds time, and then read out the speaker's name. I always feel when you become a table topic master, this technique helps a lot in the progress of the club. You mention the topic, give 3-4 seconds, then mention the speaker's name. I think those 3-4 seconds, your brain works so fast that you will get new ideas and that will enhance your thinking ability. Then regarding connecting the topics, he did a good job. He also had a few topics about today's theme. Overall, it was a very successful and enjoyable session. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a special round of applause to our table topic master, Toastmaster Shashikant. Now, coming to the MC, Toastmaster Indrani. Sutradhara, I would like to call her Sutradhara, the one who had total control over the meeting. She had a very good theme to start with. When I read out the theme, I was a little confused. But when I heard the Sergeant at Arms, President and MC speaking, I felt this is a very good topic. MC spoke about the theme in a very practical way. She spoke about parents bringing children, well-dressed children to the park and not allowing them to play, restricting their freedom. It is very, very commonly seen. However, we never thought in this direction. She really enlightened us regarding that. She also had a story of Ritu, who came out of her restrictive family and succeeded due to the freedom she got, where she could decide for herself. Overall, it was a very good theme and well-delivered theme, I should say. She had very smooth transition into the Toastmasters movement. She also gave details of Toastmaster International, how it has grown. She explained in a beautiful way. And she also explained the typical meeting of Toastmasters program for the benefit of guests. While introducing the speakers, she was very clear and confident. Even the table topic master was introduced in the appropriate way. Overall, Toastmaster Indrani had complete control and she did a meticulous job as a master of ceremony. Let us give a thunderous round of applause to our master of ceremony, Toastmaster Indrani. I thoroughly enjoyed today's meeting. Before signing off, I would like to share one small experience which I had today during our lunch. My 84-year-old mother-in-law had prepared patrode. Patrode is a South Kendra delicacy. And my father-in-law, 94-year-old, was full of appreciation. My mother-in-law told, "You are only responsible for this. You criticized when the taste was not good. You praised me when it came out very tasty. And now I have reached this level." Yes, dear friends, feedback is very important, which can take us to higher levels, provided we take it in the right spirit and manner. With this, I would like to hand over the charge back to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Arundhati. That was indeed a comprehensive feedback. Let us join to give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Dr. Arundhati. Another thunderous round of applause to all our speakers, table topic master, and rule takers and evaluators. Before I conclude, I would like to say Toastmaster is a great platform to give us to give us freedom to present our knowledge, and our great mentors identify our inner potentials to support and grow to achieve our goals. Let us use this platform effectively and make our journey success in our life. Last but not the least, by a quote, no work is excess when aiming to success. By this, I could hand over the charge back to our president, Toastmaster Ankita.
Toastmaster Indrani, for selecting this beautiful theme. Before I conclude today's meeting, I would just like to share a small thing that I watched over 2 weeks back. There's a movie I watched on one of the online film festivals called Womb, which basically comes up to Women of My Billion. It was about this lady, Shrishti Bakshi from Delhi, who walked from Kerala all the way up north on feet, the entire country, to gather conversations of women from different parts of India, talk about their struggles and what prevents them from doing what they want to do. I think what she did was give freedom of conversation, which helped these women to went out to believe that they too can do something with their lives. And Shrishti Bakshi couldn't have done this without the support of her father, who chalked down the entire plan, the entire map of India, how much to cover in one day. And her husband, who was there as a fitness trainer to help her walk those 30 kilometers every day for 240 days until she reached the tip of the country. So I believe all of us in us have a lot of potential, a lot of zeal to do something with our lives, but sometimes it remains locked inside us because we don't have the right people to help unlock that. So if you can be that one person who with your words can unlock the zeal, the potential in someone, I urge you to do that every time that you can do. And there's no better platform than Toastmasters for that. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Indrani, for giving us that amazing theme, for helping us unravel some very good experiences and lessons that we can take back home. And I also thank all the role takers who've made this meeting a grand success. The MC, the general evaluator, Arundhati ma'am, whom we are seeing behind the lectern after so many years. It's always a pleasure to listen to her. She's so composed and so beautiful in the way she speaks. Our evaluators for the day, who gave the speakers some very good suggestions to take back. And our TAPG team, it's not easy to take up TAPG roles. It requires patience. It requires a lot of, I think, perseverance, and you guys have done that. So thank you so much, everyone, and our guests for being part of today's meeting, for showing up and for coming out of their comfort zones to be better speakers. Please do go give Basecamp feedback. Also provide the notification through WhatsApp or SMS once you've done that, so people can go and check it out. Also, if you can also ask for feedback, I was told. So you can go there on Basecamp and request for feedback from specific members also, if you would like to do that. Please go ahead. Tomorrow, or by the end of tomorrow, a link will be shared where the entire meeting is going to be recorded. Any of you who want to watch yourselves again, watch how you did, how you performed today, where you can do better, please make full use of that link. Now is the most awaited moment, that is to declare the awards for the day. So I have with me the results for today. Just give us a minute. There's a technical issue. We will get back. for that glitch. The best Tabji role taker goes to Toastmaster Shiva Prasad, who did a brilliant job today. Thank you, Shiva, for that post-mortem of today's meeting. The best major role taker from the MC, the TTM, and the general evaluator goes to the one with a calm as a cucumber demeanor, who just by coming up on the lectern illuminates all of our faces with a broad smile. Toastmaster Arundhati. Congratulations, Toastmaster Arundhati. The best evaluator for today goes to, like Spurti mentioned, one of the strong pillars of Mekon Communication Club, Toastmaster Sai Snehal. Could you please come up? The best table topic speaker, I think we had a very tough competition here, but we have managed to find the winner. So the winner for the best table topic speaker is the one who came up here and gave us a plethora of food items that he enjoys eating and he has tasted in the journey of his life. DTM Udanka, no points for this. Congratulations, Udanka. And the best prepared speech goes to Toastmaster Spurti, who spoke about all the mentors of her life. Congratulations, Toastmaster Spurti. Your ribbon, virtually presenting it to you if you are in the meeting room.
Yes, Ankita, thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations to all the winners for the day. And thank you for such an amazing meeting. Hope to see you all again next week. But before we close, let's all rise for the national anthem. Thank you, everyone. See you all next week. Bye-bye.